What is the freakiest thing you guys have ever done?
Who's asking?
Right, because somebody will get the level 1 answer, somebody will get the 8.5.
Okay, but then the real thing is, do you have an 8.5?
I don't know, because my 8.5 could be somebody's 1.
Right.
Yeah, it's a scale for sure. Definitely a scale.
And that's what's scary about, because you also know if you jump out and go too freaky, then you get judged. But if you have nothing to say, then you get judged.
What's that one trend right now?
We listen
And we don't judge. That's exactly, this is a safe space.
So do we all want to answer?
No, I'm afraid of being judged because that's a fucking lie.
This video right here is sponsored by Squarespace, an all-in-one platform to build your dream website. With Squarespace, design is a breeze. Whether you're starting a passion project or starting a business, Squarespace empowers you to build an online presence that is stunning. Try it out yourself. Go to squarespace.com, start playing around for free, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/shambooty to get 10% off your first purchase of a website or a domain. Now enjoy the rest of this video.
The freakiest things that I've done, I think are things that I didn't necessarily enjoy. So when I think about the freakiest things that I'm doing that I really enjoy, those are the things that we're doing now. So we have this service that's called Arya, where we get this new experience that we try every month. And so we've been playing with like ropes and temperature play and role play.
An experience that stands out to me is me and a former partner were exploring different sex toys to heighten our experience.
So the freakiest thing I've done is go to a play party and cuddle as the party was going on around me.
I don't know. I don't think I've done it yet. Is that okay? Period.
Okay, recently I've been experimenting with like making a sex tape with a partner.
You know, I don't think I've done a lot of freaky things. I'll be honest. I think that I've been in a lot of situationships and a lot of short-lived relationships, but not too many long ones where I could really experiment and get to that level of freaky, if you feel me.
Comfort and safety are two very big things for me to like just explore like uninhibited. So whether that is inviting someone else into the bedroom, exploring different toys, figuring out different ways to orgasm that isn't necessarily tied to penetration, role playing. Like for me, I think being able to explore in a safe space like that, I feel like that is what unlocks the freak. But
Maybe a little bit of pain or, you know, that type of stuff.
I also like the alive component, like that, something that lights you up and makes you feel alive. Because sometimes, I think when people say, what's the freakiest thing you've ever done? I personally feel like the right answer is a threesome. Like that's when people are like, oh, that's like just freaky enough to still be normal, but still not something that most people have done. But maybe for you, what felt and made you feel really alive is affirmation play.
See, actually, I have an idea, like now that we're hearing more and more about it, like I think freaky is something that's like bordering on the edge of like, ew, that bitch is gross. Like I can't, like, you know when your friend has told you something, you're like, I can't wait to tell Jared tonight. That bitch is out here. You know what I mean? I think it's something bordering, like, yeah, and I did it, bitch. Like, I think that's what freaky would be for me.
Yeah.
Like, it would have to border on some shit that's like,
but if you
it smelled crazy and I still did it. What? I had to follow it through, my boy. You know?
But border is the key word there, because what if they said something that's a little bit too much, then it's not freaky, then what is it?
You nasty bitch. But I'm with it.
I think freaky is also, like, to me, a bit, like, closest to animalistic. Like, what's the thing that takes us out of our consciousness? You know what I mean? And I think that, to me, that's a little bit of, like, what freaky is defined as.
Yeah.
But I think, or for me personally, like, sometimes it's hard to get there and feel like in it enough that I'm just gonna go for it, you know what I mean?
It's just a mood thing.
Yeah, it's exactly
Yeah.
it's a good thing.
I also feel like freaky is doing something that is like not within your comfort zone. Like it's in your comfort zone, but something you wouldn't normally do when you choose to have sex. So it's almost like
Off script,
like she said, but also like just that curiosity. Yeah. Like that sense of adventure is something that kind of like makes you like,
And then it's also tricky too because I think about, like, I've had sex in a movie theater before, but if I told you guys the movie, you'd be like, what?
What was the movie?
It was, I don't know what it's even called, but Jack Black invented this spray that made
Jack Black
poop
movie is crazy.
evaporate.
That's crazy.
And it wasn't even like,
It doesn't even matter what the plot is, girl.
it wasn't
The Jack Black
even,
movie.
you just had the urge.
Yeah.
but I think it was more about fulfilling it was like an empty enough theater that we were like, you know what we should do?
Get away with
And it
this.
was not good sex. So, and then that's the thing is I might answer that question if asked because I'm like, maybe that is the most like potentially illegal thing that I've done before.
I would say I wasn't feeling inspired by this, but my friends were talking about it, and I was like, okay, it seems out there to me. To me, it's very freaky.
I love how you disclaimed yourself in the beginning. I did not. I don't condone.
Just to get me the fuck as far away from this as possible. They had said.
What are you about to say?
Okay, basically, they were talking about, or my friend brought up that she had heard it feels really good to have someone pee inside you
Oh.
while you're having sex.
That's freaky.
And I thought that was pretty freaky, because, okay, my first question was like, where is it going?
In and out, honey. It's a,
Yeah, and then, so it's
it all
like you
comes
have
out.
to have like
Yeah.
a towel down, or like maybe you're in the shower. But I was
Inside of
pee
you?
inside of
In
you.
the
Like,
Do you know the functionality of that is very tricky?
yes, we were discussing that.
Yeah.
Very tricky.
Did she get a yeast infection afterwards?
Well,
She
urine is
said that when
sterile.
she tried it, it didn't work that well because her partner didn't have enough pee.
And then you have to be flaccid in order to pee.
Yeah.
So it's like you have to start erect and then really jam it in there and then watch a movie.
Yeah. And then soften it up.
Yeah.
Jack Black
For the-
baby.
Give them a drink on a straw while they're like up against you.
You've got to be real determined.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What inspired
That's a
that?
lot of
I
work
know.
for a particular
Someone
occasion.
else saying that it felt really good.
Oh,
But I
yeah.
will say,
Super good.
I was with like 5 friends talking about it, and I was the only person who was like, okay, like I'm open to it, but I don't feel like I'm intrigued enough to like go ahead and try that. And everybody else was like, no, I feel like I want to try it.
Period. I like your friend group. Those bitches tell the truth.
I feel like the more that we can make sex about an exploration of humanity, that doesn't always have to be sexy and perfect. Because when I hear that story, I don't necessarily even hear the pee in penetration. I hear the logistics of how you got to that point.
No, totally.
The unsexy logistics
Yeah.
of getting to that point. But I think the intimacy of getting there probably is a lot of laughs.
Yeah.
Like if it's not expected
Definitely
to be
a lot of
perfect.
laughs. I
Yeah.
agree.
It definitely, has to be super intimate.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of steps.
So I had a partner. He put a rose on my clitoris.
Oh, period.
And then he put a vibrating butt plug up my butt. And I was like, oh, and usually I'm like, I don't like anal. It's not comfortable. Like, I don't care how much
Warming
lube.
up,
Like, I don't like it. But the vibrating butt plug
Was a joy.
And it was joyful. And I think he either gave me head or we had sex while the toys were like going. I was like overstimulated, but it was so fun. And that's something I will never forget because it was just, I don't know, I felt comfortable enough. It was something we were both curious about. We had the equipment, so we were like, let's try something.
And you did it with a partner you trusted.
Exactly.
And felt safe.
I did. And those are 2 very big important things for me. So I would say that's the freakiest.
Well, you've accomplished double penetration.
Hey.
Yes.
I want to do that.
Yeah, it was fun. I would do it again.
Yeah.
I would.
And you know what? For the person with the penis, it's a great experience because they get the vibrations when they're penetrating you through the wall.
Oh.
I did it one time. Like I opened the conversation with an old partner of mine, and he had sex with other men and with trans women.
And they told the truth.
And they told the truth.
Were you shocked?
I was shocked.
Yeah.
But it didn't make me look at them any differently. It just made me like, okay, bet.
Yeah.
Like,
Did you have to control your face in the moment?
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Because
Yeah,
I can
face
only,
was
my
saying,
eyes are like,
I was
wow.
wow, okay. I identify as queer too, like I'm bi, so I think it also helped knowing
Safety.
like my sexuality for him to feel like, okay.
I feel men have a very tight leash on what they can do sexually.
Or they'll be
And
labeled as gay.
yeah,
Instantly.
yes, lose their masculinity or their
at least in their head.
heterosexuality.
No, their friends will bully you. I've seen it. Literally, at a barbecue I was just at, I just saw somebody admit to something and it just go a little bit left. And I was like, aw, and went back to my ribs. That's not my fucking business. But I saw it.
Right.
Yeah.
And then also too, like they're also battling with the perception that other people will have of their partner. So I think that that's like so much masculinity is something you have to constantly audition for. So if I did meet a man, I'm grateful to be with somebody who's on the camera right now. What's up, babe?
Sure,
I'm great.
Brady.
But I also see the amount of critique that he has to get from other people who are constantly questioning his masculinity or his dominance because I'm allowed to do certain things, or I have done, or I do, or I talk about certain things. So if you do meet a man who like is battling with that, I like would give a bit more wiggle room.
I have an ex-boyfriend who we've been dating for like probably like a year at this point, and then he had been talking about like wanting to be penetrated and like if I would be into pegging him, and I was really nervous at first. And I was just like, I don't really know, I'm not sure. And then I was like, okay, like I thought about it and I was like, I want to, if that feels really exciting for you, like I want you to have that experience. So I pegged him and I feel like that felt pretty freaky to me. Afterwards, he was kind of like, I don't know if you were into it, like were you into it? And I was like, I'm not completely positive how I feel about it. And like he came from that, and then I was like, I want to have sex. And
He came from a prostate. He got a prostate orgasm.
yeah,
I'm so happy for him.
yeah, no, I felt proud of that.
I think that there needs to be like space to try anything new for the first time, if not to be perfect.
Yeah.
Like my brunch moment that Kevin made fun of.
Yes.
Trying something new for the first
I
time.
have video.
Is it partly lunchable? Yes. Did I try? Also, yes.
Is it all lunchable? Yes.
Yes. Okay. Part. All right. There's grapes in there. But I mean, like,
Did you grow them? Okay.
whenever you try anything new for the first time, there's going to be that awkwardness. But I think giving each other that grace to say, let's do it again. The company that I am CIO of, that I work for now, and that we've been using now for about a year, is called Aria. I think the most valuable thing about it is that it delivers a box for you every month. So every month you're trying something brand new for the first time. And I think what's really important about that is that if you try something and it wasn't like perfect, you know you have another thing coming. And then you start to build the muscle for trying something new for the first time and being like, oh, this didn't work perfectly, but we can always double back on it. Or we can try something else new. It's like a little bit left or right that we might feel is more in our wheelhouse and comfort zone. So I think that happens to a lot of people where they go to that freaky side and then it feels too far and then you never really revisit that thing again. And then you kind of have unsettling feelings about it afterwards.
Totally. And just like adjusting your expectations to like, it's probably not going to be like smooth the first time. And yeah, I think that's really important.
When we first got together, we would like try new things all the time, like bondage play and like multi-orgasms and restraint and like orgasm restraint. And then we'd always try the new toy. And I feel like a year into it, Jared's like, you know, life is long. You don't have to do all the things all the time. And I was like, thank you.
Yeah.
Like, I think there's something, vanilla's delicious. What? Like, it's so good.
It's the most popular ice cream flavor.
It's the most popular ice cream flavor. It's there as an option all the time. It's universal. And it's like, it's safety. So when I think about my favorite sexual experiences, it's us like doing the normal things, but like really authentically.
Vanilla's great, but it's 2024 and bitches like sprinkles. What's up?
That's what Aria's for.
Yeah.
Use my promo code. I don't have it.
Hey, Aria.
What's up, everybody? Just popping in to give a shout out to the sponsor of this video, Squarespace. It's literally the reason why we're able to still create content on this YouTube channel. Squarespace is more than just a website builder. It is literally your partner in creativity when you're building your online presence. This is the place to be. With design intelligence, it's literally like having a design team at your fingertips. You're going to be able to personalize and customize your website or any of your online presence to really truly reflect your brand. I mean, that's a win, especially with the amount of digital content that is going out there. To be able to personalize and customize your brand and your presence online is truly remarkable. And while we're at it, let's talk business. I mean, with Squarespace payments, it is the easiest way to manage your payments and, give your customers an option to pay with so many different ways. I mean, that is a must. I mean, nobody likes to get to the checkout and be confused. Do they need to see something familiar? They need to see something that has an option for them, especially if you're trying to sell things online. We build a lot of our websites on Squarespace. We are currently rebuilding my website. We're rebuilding the shared entertainment website. And Shan has a lot of stuff that she's rolling out soon. And all this is possible through Squarespace. So, are you ready to build your website on Squarespace? And if you are, go to squarespace.com, start playing around for free, and when you're ready to launch, go back to squarespace.com/shanbooty to get 10% off your first purchase of a website or a domain. I'm telling you right now, you're not gonna regret it. Build that business that you're thinking about right now.